If you need help with your New Year's resolutions and you want to improve your health and productivity and build that discipline, then this video is for you. So keep on watching. I'm going to talk about 10 healthy habits to change your life, build that discipline, and become more productive. Hi, you guys. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, hello again. My name is Megan, and I have a self-help series here on my channel that provides you tips and tricks and ways to help you become your best self. So let's get right into it. My first tip on how to change your life in order to build discipline and be productive is making sure that you have a morning routine by staying off of your phone. So instead of going on your phone and scrolling, catching up on your friends, what they did the night before, really make this time about yourself. And when I mean make this time about yourself, I mean get up, take a deep breath, look outside, maybe get some vitamin D from the sun. I've heard in a Mel Robbins podcast that the first, 25 minutes that you wake up, it's crucial to go outside and get those vitamins, to see the sun, because this really sets your mind up subconsciously for the day. And so make sure that you brush your teeth, wash your face, create this morning routine that is your non-negotiable. It takes, I think it's like 21 days to form a habit. I remember back in the day, I had a really bad habit of not making my bed. So I made it a priority every single morning to make my bed. It doesn't matter if I was home the whole day or not, as long as I made my bed. Now it's a non-negotiable for me. It feels weird if I don't make my bed, if the bed is not made. When I leave my bedroom, it's just, I don't know, it gives me the ick. I've made a habit to make my bed, wash my face, brush my teeth, get dressed, and then I head out to make breakfast, make a coffee, make a hot chocolate, do what I have to do, take my dog out. So if you can think of ways to quickly get yourself ready and have that non-negotiable of either making your bed or maybe even journaling for the first 5 minutes, something that is you time, then that will set yourself up for the rest of the day. My second tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is to create a to-do list. When I think of that, I think of pen and paper, but truly you can just go on your phone, you go in your little notes app. There's this feature where you can create tasks, and these tasks are, they have like a bubble next to them. So when you're done them, you can like tap the bubble and it'll like mark it off as being done. Honestly, that is so satisfying, and probably one of the main reasons why I create to-do lists, because then I know that it's done instead of like, okay, how do I cross this off on my phone? To-do lists, they allow you to be so productive, and you can make to-do lists like well in advance. You can make them up to a certain day. Like to-do lists help you so much. It's like utilizing your calendar. Like people who don't utilize their calendar, I'm like, how do you stay organized? How do you figure out your life? Like I am mind blown when people are like, oh, I don't put anything in my calendar. And I'm like, how? If you were to ask my husband, he would say that I am his calendar, and without me, he would be lost. So I would definitely recommend creating a to-do list, even if it's just like little simple things that you have to do throughout the day or over the weekend or even over the month. If you're planning a party, a wedding, whatever, as long as you make your to-do list, you will be 10 times more organized. This is my biggest hack when I travel too. If I'm thinking of something, even the night before, I will write it down immediately so that I don't forget, because 9 times out of 10, if you're like, oh, I can't forget that, you're going to forget it. Just write it down. That's my latest thing, is like anything I think of, anything that comes to mind, I immediately write it down because I don't want to forget about it, because our lives are so busy that like you jump from point A to point B to D to Z to Y to X and everywhere in between, that by the time you get back to that thought, you're like, oh, what was that, you know? So best to write it down, make a to-do list, be organized. This will set you up for huge increased productivity that you will thank me for in the future. As well, to-do lists break things up into realistic objectives. Even if you want to create like your non-negotiables, being a content creator, I have like a creative to-do list, grocery shopping, cleaning, and then sometimes I have like an other to-do list, which is like just random things like putting clothes on Poshmark or like write our thank you cards for our wedding, like just like simple kind of like one-off things. I would categorize those as like random to-do lists and not like an every day, every week, every month reoccurring thing. Some say I am very organized. I call myself type A, which I very much am. So if you want any organizational tips, I'm your girl. My third point on how to change your life to build discipline and be productive is move around as much as you can. I know some days we're like, oh, I don't want to move at all. I want to just lay in bed or lay on the couch, be a couch potato. That's totally fine. But make sure that you're moving around, like going to the washroom, getting up to get a snack or water or something. But like, make sure that you're at least getting some steps in. Even if you are super, super active and you're like, I'm going to walk to the grocery store. Great. Good for you. I hope that you can, continue your day being as active and not overdo it. And then you're out for the count for the next day or the next couple days. So make sure that you're consistently moving, you're staying on top of your activity. Create a weekly routine for yourself of workouts. If you set yourself up for the week and you're like, okay, Monday, I'm going to work out at the gym, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to Pilates, and then Thursday, I'm taking a rest day, Friday, back to the gym. It's like at least you have your week set up and you're not just like, do I feel like going to the gym today? Do I feel like booking a Pilates class? As long as you have your weekly scheduled workouts, I think that is important, because then it has your mindset of like, okay, I need to go to this class, I need to go to this workout, and then you're doing something not only good for your body, but also your mind as well, because obviously working out coincides with your mental health. So don't forget about your mental health side of things. One of the tips and tricks that I've actually added into my routine recently is that when I go to take my little puppy for a walk, I've started to bring my AirPods. And so I'll listen to a podcast or some like music that really like calms me down or uplifts me or whatever I'm feeling that day. Mostly I will probably listen to a podcast because I feel inspired during that time. As soon as I get home from work and I go for a walk with him, like it's not only for him, but also for me as well, where I'm like, yeah, I'm taking my dog for a walk. He's getting his exercise, releasing some energy, and I'm doing the same, getting my steps in, but also like recharging my mind so that I can now work on content or work on creativity for the next X amount of hours until I have to wind down and go to bed. So this is also good to keep your walks more interesting, but also intriguing, and keeps your ideas and your mind in that hyper state so that it's not just like, oh, a walk, that's so nice, which is great. Like I do that a lot too, but sometimes I like to just make things more interesting, and that's why I put on a podcast. My fourth tip on how to change your life to build discipline and be more productive is to create a clean space. I am so guilty of leaving laundry on the ground after it's been cleaned. And my husband calls this Mount Megan, because it's just this laundry pile that starts to grow. But then once I put my clothes away, it is the best feeling to have like a clean space. You're set up for the week of like grabbing outfits, or even the weekend to just like relax and chill and have a space where you can actually see the floor again. There was this thing on TikTok where they said, treat your space as if you were in a closing shift at a restaurant, and then the person that was opening up the next day is also you. So wouldn't you want that space to be clean? So think about it as your future self will thank your past self for cleaning and organizing up the space, because I always have a really bad habit of like going to bed and the dishes are still out, laundry's not put away, our living room just has like dog toys and like pillows and blankets just kind of scattered. Putting everything away and organizing the space, going to bed, you forget about it, and then coming back the next day, like looking around, it's almost like a breath of fresh air, because you don't have to clean the space. You don't have to organize. You don't have to do anything. You can just go about your day and your space is already clean. A clear space creates a clear mind. And so this sets you up for other things that you could be doing, and you just feel more refreshed going into your day or your week. My 5th tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being more productive is limit your screen time. I know we are all guilty of this. I think screen time is important in some sense, but also when it's mindless scrolling, you're not doing yourself any services by doing that. So try to limit consumption. I would recommend maybe try reading 5 pages a day of a book, a Bible, anything that interests you, the newspaper, a magazine, your textbook, anything, just to get your mind away from a screen and focus it more on physical text. By limiting your screen time, it allows you to challenge your mind instead of, like I mentioned, mindless scrolling. By challenging your mind, you are exercising your brain. Obviously, this is an extremely good thing. So why would you not want to do that? My 6th tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is to make a playlist. Music is a form of art. Art is something that our bodies are very receptive to, whether it's painting, music, poetry, dance, all of those forms of art make us feel some type of way. And so my favorite is music, because I love to create a playlist. I think that we can create many different playlists for many different aspects of our lives, whether you're maybe going through a breakup and you want to listen to sad music and like feel what you're feeling in that moment, or if you want to create a happy playlist and have the opposite end of the spectrum for that. That is also very good. So if you want to create like a calm playlist, an uplifting playlist, a dance playlist, anything to like get you moving, get you through whatever you need to feel, any emotion, or just like you just want to like bust out a move, you know? Playlists are great. They're great if we want to be more productive, if we want to focus. Music is just a remedy that I think we take for granted, and it really does have true healing factors, but also I feel it affects us more than you think it does. My 7th tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is more of a statement in saying that words are powerful. And what I mean by this is I want you to try to fill your mind and your thoughts with something that moves you. So what I mean by this is listening to podcasts or audiobooks or even daily affirmations, something that makes you think and realize, something that uplifts you and empowers you. All of these examples are something that I found truly helpful. I really like listening to audiobooks. There was a book that I was listening to on Spotify called 100 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. That one's a really good one. Also, podcasts. I really, really love Mel Robbins. I think that she is so well spoken and has really good messages on her podcast. I really love Ashley Corbo. She has created this podcast called Trying Not to Care. And that one's just like big sister advice, best friend advice. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's so good. It's so good. I listened to The Creator Club with Katie Steckley. I really love her podcast because she offers so much information if you are a content creator. There's other ones that I listen to, but sometimes they're just not as consistent. They don't post all the time. And then with daily affirmations, that is one that I don't practice enough. And I know a lot of people do with like journaling and writing them down, or even just speaking into the mirror daily affirmations. So going back to my point, words are powerful. Make sure that you're using them for good and not evil. My 8th tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is by getting 8 hours of sleep. Now, I can't tell you how important this is. I am guilty of not getting 8 hours of sleep during the work week, but 8 hours of sleep, I did a little test with myself when I went on vacation. I have an Oura ring, and essentially on vacation, I slept like 8 hours, 9 hours, because it was truly like an easy vacation to just like chill, relax. We weren't really doing much. And my stress score was like on a different level that I've never seen in like however long I've had my Oura ring. And I was like, whoa, like it was telling me that like my recovery was like amazing. Like I was at optimal results, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, as soon as I got back home and I got back into routine, that trend just went down and is now dropped even lower than before I even went on vacation. My body is like, what the heck are you doing? But going back to my point, 8 hours of sleep is so important because that is when your body actually like has a recovery, and your body needs sleep in order to heal itself. It needs it to like fight infection or like fight illness, sickness, like all that kind of stuff. Like sleep is so, so important. And I think a lot of people, they don't realize that until they're down bad. And then they realize, oh yeah, I need more sleep. And, you know, obviously your body will tell you when it needs more sleep, but you should also be doing your body a service by getting that sleep anyways. Resting is important. And also it just sets you up for your day. Like if you have a really bad sleep, you're going to be tired, you're going to be cranky. It's just like, you're not going to be in this like state of mind where you like want to do anything. And if you have to do things, you're going to be doing it with like a bad attitude. Whereas if you get 8 hours of sleep and you feel rested and you're rejuvenated and you're like, yeah, like let's do it. Let's tackle this day. That is a much better attitude going into that day than it would be otherwise. Now, my 9th step into how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is taking time to yourself. And as a fellow introvert, I need this. And if you're also an introvert, you need this too. Extroverts probably don't need this as much as we do, but taking time to yourself to recharge and just like breathe and like take a second is important, because if you're go, go, go constantly and you're like running yourself very thin, who at the end of the day is going to feel it the most? It's going to be you. So make sure that your cup is half full and make sure that your mask is on before assisting others, because if you're trying to give, who's going to give back to you? You're not going to have enough for yourself. So make sure that you take that time for yourself, because you're just as important as other people are. My 10th and final tip on how to change your life by building discipline and being productive is to not procrastinate. And I know I'm so guilty of this myself. You get so much more done by not procrastinating. I want to say that procrastination is honestly like created by the devil himself, because it genuinely helps no one. If you procrastinate, who's to blame? No one but you. If people are counting on you to get something done and you procrastinate and you put it off and then it's half-assed or you didn't even do it, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame you. And who are you going to blame? You're going to blame yourself. Procrastination, it does not help anyone. Honestly, like it'll put you in a negative mind space. It's just not, at the end of the day, something that helps anyone. If you want to feel more accomplished and not negative towards yourself and other people, I highly, highly recommend creating this habit by getting rid of procrastination. And I know it's easier said than done, but truly just try with all your might to not procrastinate into doing anything, whether it's school, work, seeing family and friends. Set yourself up for success and don't take advantage of any time that you have. Try to get those tasks done and out of the way so that you can enjoy your time chilling or just doing something that you want to do. But in the meantime, like if there's things that you need to get done, don't put them off. Do them right away. And then you will feel so much better about yourself and the situation and what you have to do next. So those are my 10 healthy habits to change your life by building discipline and being productive. If you're tired of being stuck, unmotivated, disappointed in yourself, then be sure to click on this link on how to change your life in 14 days, where I talk about additional tips on how to stop procrastinating and transform your bad habits. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Megan May out.